Hey there, Adrienne Elise here. Welcome to the SuperNova Astrology Update for January 22nd through 29th, 2024. Wow, what intense and powerful astrology. Have you been feeling it? We are still feeling the sun in conjunction to Pluto, really powerful energies of an annihilation of everything that we thought that we were there at 29 degrees Capricorn, the end degree, the last degree of the sign of structures. And the sun, who we think we are, Pluto, the destroyer, and there we are. And it's just amplifying this feeling of, on the one hand, it's a very powerful activation of our inner power, but also a falling away of everything that we thought we were, or what really mattered, but we doesn't matter, or just Pluto is the so-called destroyer, but only destroys what's not true and what's not real. And it's kind of this surrender energy of like, all right, because it's time to get on with it. Are you feeling it? So yeah, out with the old, whatever, So the other flip side of this Sun Pluto conjunction is this activation of our superpowers, is calling forth of what's within us. Now, in that, we are coming to recognize, and a lot of supernova souls are dealing with this on different levels right now, coming into awareness of how we've been blocked in our power so deliberately in so many different ways and in a long-term agenda, right? Like all the way back to Atlantean time. The biggest threat to the control energies, matrix, delusions, is us coming into our power, to even simply remembering how powerful we are. And this is right where we're at. Okay. So it's really, as of today, the Sun and Pluto still in conjunction, still very close through the next couple of days. So we're going to continue to feel this energy, but it's kind of waning off. But now the Sun and Pluto, it's like the Sun was like, come on, Pluto, we're moving into Aquarius, And so the Sun has been in Capricorn since 2008, and it's a big shift for us. It's a big energy. We're also dipping back to 2011, 2012, because we're really going to start to feel Jupiter has been retrograde, right? All of our planets were retrograde. And now we have one more to turn direct on the 24th, Uranus, the ruler of Aquarius. Okay. And Jupiter turned direct at the end of the year, but it takes a while to get going. So Jupiter's just made it a couple degrees. And so, now that Jupiter's direct, though, and this full moon coming up on Thursday, it's a full moon in Leo, Thursday, Friday, depending on where you are in the world, but it is at 5 degrees, happening at 5 degrees, 15 minutes of Leo. And that is in square to Jupiter at 6 degrees Taurus. And so Jupiter is on the foreground. Jupiter's like, oh, whoops, we have kind of forgot about that. Like, it's like, because Jupiter was retrograde, the energy was kind of in the background. Now that Jupiter is starting to move again in this Taurus, it's very, very important because we have the Saturn sextile Jupiter that we're feeling, absolute magic. And so we also have Jupiter will in April finally catch up to Uranus in Taurus. And so this now, but then in May, Jupiter will move into the sign of Gemini. So we have a huge bloom of this Jupiter and Taurus energy kind of like for the next couple of months. And it's like, did you get the message? Because what it's about, especially this full moon in Leo, puts the sun in Aquarius, the moon in Leo at 5 degrees, and then in a T square with Jupiter in Taurus. And T squares are like, right? Now, this is a powerful activation, and I'm sure you're feeling it if you've got the fixed signs represented in your birth chart, because the fixed signs of Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius are all due for a 20-year empowerment cycle with Pluto in Aquarius. And so it's like this pressure is on, and we know this, right? We're starting to see like, oh, they didn't want us to know who we are. Their whole plan is contingent on us not knowing how powerful we are. And so as you have that realization and how much forces have deliberately worked against you that we didn't see. We couldn't see how all our relationships were about belittling and invalidating and denying our spiritual path and purpose, because that's all we've known, right? We thought we were getting support and love when really it was just like they wanted to just feed on our energy, right? That whole narcissist empath thing, initiation that we've all had to go through, Oh gosh. And it's like, you know what? Not for sale. Because now I'm remembering the abundance I have right here within me. And I've been kind of feeding it to you guys to just stay safe, stay small, keep alive. This is the incredibly powerful activation that we are feeling February. Whoa. I was just really getting lost down the rabbit hole of the February astrology. We'll talk it through as much as we can today, but we've got Chiron catching up to the north node of the moon in Aries, just this massive Aries activation of the warrior within. And so it's the spiritual warrior, it's the empowerment. It's like now is when we stand up and we say no more. It's that place where that victim, not even realizing they were a victim, right? It's been so subtle in some ways. Maybe that's part of why we've had to go through it so intensely to be able to see the patterns, because this last couple months has been a major bloom, at least in my life and a lot of other supernova souls, of control energies, dynamics, parasitic, like the control forces out to feed. But it showed us, it's like, wait a minute. If you're so interested and like so much manipulation and bullying and demanding of my energy, I must have something here. And you know what? It's not for you. Source gave it to us as a gift, our birthright, our energy. And this is the quintessential issue for supernova souls right now. But it's kind of interesting because a lot of those forces that you didn't see were predatory, right? And now it's becoming more and more clear. And there's an interesting energy out there right now of souls that have kind of given over on a certain level and have become a little bit or a lot of a dark portal. And you just want to really be careful and own and protect and honor your energy right now. And you may have these experiences where you have this person show up that you thought was a friend, support, or family member. It's like maybe it wasn't always the best relationship, but it was there. And then as you own your energy, some sort of drama comes up that shows you how they've been triggering you into drama and emotional bullshit again and again, just to get your energy while they're saying they're supporting you. I was like, no, that's not support. And if you're not with me, you're against me. If it's too hot in the kitchen, get the F out, right? Because it's full bore ahead right now. And it's intense. And this is where you own supernova soul, who you are really. And you grab a hold of this power growing within you and you take charge, because what's happening right now is that, so we're talking about this God-given right of our power. This is ours. We have this direct connection to source. We know this. When you go deep down any spiritual journey, any stream of knowledge, wisdom, learning, you're going to come to one place, which is we're all one. And so we're recognizing that if we are all one and connected, we're fractals of God consciousness, then we have direct access. But what's gone on with these control matrix structures going all the way back to Atlantean time, it's not. So we have to understand what we're dismantling here, But it's like all these controls, taxes, siphoning off. And that's what these dark portal souls, it feels like when you're around them. But it's so great to actually be able to see clearly and know, like, oh yeah, I don't need to go anywhere near that siphoning dark portals energy, But so all along the way, you could kind of see it like from source to us, there's been all these interferences where we've been trapped in basically black magic, contractual arrangements against our will to allow our energy to be siphoned in through the stealing of our money. It just goes like there's all these levels, right? Of where, and what's happening is that these structures are dismantling. And so this is a really important energy for supernova souls. Like, what if what's happening is that it's almost like there's been this, I don't know, it's like slots, or, and it's like one by one and here and there, these pathways are beginning to open again for you to have direct access to that massive amount of source energy that's yours by birthright, instead of just the trickle they've allowed you to have, you know? And understanding in the way that we've been so targeted in isolation and disconnection to keep us from amplifying and validating who we are and our energy together. So this is 2024. This is like, oh, the structures are breaking down. There's still minions out there doing control tactics and targeting stuff, right? Like it's still got to sort itself out. But this is when we knock down the gates, right? The lock has been removed and we stand at the edge in our strength and our power, and we knock down those gates and we say, you're not the boss of me. Like, who made you the boss of me? I'm a sovereign human soul. And it's our world, our way, because guess what? You know, all these interactions that I'm alluding to, or I'm sure you know, these narcissistic, parasitic, psychopathic interactions, you know, and it's just basically what's played out in our whole world and our government right now, right? Global control. It's just psychopath narcissists that have no energy of their own. The dark matrix requires our energy. Do you see the intensity of us taking it back and starving them because they don't have their own source? This is the whole AI thing. The AI that's been infected in our bodies, they want to take us over, make us into robots in the transhumanism agenda. That is literally it. Yes, there's depopulation agenda, but there's also, we want a fully controllable human race. So that's the agenda to, you know, like now that there were all these external power sources, but those weren't working anymore. And so they had to go to the extent of infecting us with this AI technology to try to get to our energy. And this is where the Aries, the victim, the disempowered, the almost given up, but the organism now rallies and says, oh, you have no idea what you're messing with. You will not forget it. Now we rise. And because the AI is mimicking life, this is the problem, right? It's self-replicating. And yet it has no source of energy of its own. So it's farming us. It's farming our iron. It's using our calcium channels. No wonder everybody's dehydrated. You know, they've reduced our oxygen levels, just like basically just trying to revoke everything that keeps us alive and healthy and breathing and expanding. You know, they do not want us to express ourselves, to remember, like we're saying, who we are. And it's like their controls are not working. And I have to say this, I had an experience which this is kind of my read on it, you know, of the shift and the energy of what we're in right now. But I was on my way somewhere and there was some sort of like kerfuffle going on with flashing lights and emergency vehicles. And it was like something energetically was like, I could feel this, you know, that we've been dealing with this. And supernova souls, I have to say, like, we've gotten so much validation, these morning meditations on the Soul Tribe Telegram chat and stuff. It's like, we have been in an artificial grid where we haven't been able to work with energy and feel the life force, the mother, the self-correcting force that's available. And we, as emissaries, as lovers of her, that we're aligned, you know, going back to these narcissist control energies. It's like they want you to think, they want to bring you down to their level. They want to bring you into hate. You know how they always say, when you finally put the boundary, they're like, you're so selfish. And it's like, because I'm not going to hand over my energy to for you to just feed parasitically on? I'm the selfish one. You were the lover. You were the giver. And thank God you never gave up. And you kept showing up in love. I know everybody made fun of you for it. But this is the thing, they tried to turn us into haters, to hate each other. We have to constantly protect ourselves against all this attack and bring our vibration down and be in the battle. And it's like, no, you've always been aligned with the love, right? The truth, the what's best for everyone. And that is the power of the universe. That is the mother's timeline. And we're coming back onto it. This is the age of Aquarius. It's about service and innovation and helping a more egalitarian society where we actually take care of each other. As we evolve, we're getting more and more psychic. And we can't have people in our world, it's been part of their dark agenda, right? That don't have their needs met, that aren't cared for. That's just not going to fly, right? We're going to do it right now. But we've been too busy battling these dark bullshit energies, right? And so this is kind of the power that's growing in February, because we've got that Jupiter sextile Saturn. We're already feeling it. Incredibly powerful, magical miracles, blessings. Yes, you can rewrite your world. This is the Christ consciousness. This is the miracles and blessings, miracle healings, that the impulse that came through at the last shift of ages with the Christ mystery. And it was like the dark forces just kind of pummeled us down, right? And now we retrieve the magic and miracles and blessings. We got this message, right? We cannot leave the Piscean age. Yes, we need to rewrite the stories. Yes, we need to tell the truth. Yes, we need to sort all this stuff out and clear the karma and break those contracts with where we've been feeding the monster and all that stuff. But we have to retrieve the miracles and blessings that are ours. It's our God-given right. This is the abundance that's coming, because we're talking about our source energy that was stolen. That's also our money, our tax dollars. We've been fed upon and preyed upon on so many levels, and it just cannot fly in her world. And you stand with her, you always have. And this is where we align and we say, I can feel I'm a lover. I'm here to love, to help, to be present, to bring something, and all the people around you be like, will you just get over it and get a job, right? Why can't you just be a regular person like us? This is bringing up a very powerful energy. And maybe all this is coming up because it is time for us to completely break those ties with energies that have been feeding, that we thought were supportive, we thought was love, we thought was, it's really important for us to own our energy and make sure we've gotten this message. If we're moving over to the age of Aquarius, if we're going into a golden age of abundance, we can't keep leaking our energy out, because then we'll just give it away again. So autonomy and sovereignty as a soul in your energetic field, it's everything right now. So powerful. And so we've got that beautiful Jupiter sextile Saturn, and that is exact on the 29th at 6 degrees, on the 6th and 7th of February at 6 and 7 degrees, on the 15th of February at 8 degrees, 6, 7, 8, very powerful numbers. Everything is saying it's go time. Let's go. It's full throttle. As of the 24th, Uranus direct, all planets direct. And yesterday, on the 21st, Mercury completed his retrograde shadow. So here we go. And the age of Aquarius, come on, right? But it's that feeling of standing at the precipice and everything falling away behind you, right? Like reality just gone. You can't go backwards. There's nothing to salvage from the past. And yet it's a big leap into the unknown. And yet we know this is why we've come into this power, And what is this power ultimately that we're talking about? It is that force of love. So keep this in mind, that everything in this world tried to make you into a hater, and you did not comply. And if you haven't, then you've been targeted, because that's the world we live in right now, you know? So the power of this love, of the mother's love, the mother dragon awakening, coming back into our hearts. And it's so powerful. But the only way we've realized that the control forces have been able to have this whole era of control and keep humanity as a slave race is because they successfully disconnected us from that mother energy. This is through deliberate catastrophes, man-made, blamed humans. Oh, we took the blame, supernova souls, a lot of us in that Atlantean time, and we've been trying to make up for it, But I have to tell you this Jupiter sextile Saturn and the energy we're moving into, there is no getting around the amazing miracle spiritual blessings that are coming into our world. And what if, and it's happening fast. Okay, so going back to, I know I have so many streams of thoughts going on, but hopefully we connect them all. And thanks for being ADD with me, a bit autistic, but so it's just such an incredible energy of these blessings, and recognizing that we are that, the love, the truth. In Lemurian time, Rudolf Steiner talks about how humanity had a pure soul. We came from purity. That's the truth. All our human souls, and it seems that there's only a certain limited number of actual human souls have been here. We have something to complete and to play out in a very important story. And this is what this is saying. We must retrieve the miracles and blessings. But what if they come flooding into our world? And the awakening of the superpowers of supernova souls, remembering and coming into their power, literally lighting up this world. And this is kind of the powerful message that came through this morning in working on this, the themes and energies and messages around this astrology is, what if you've gone through hell and back? So many supernova souls, you're so full of love and care. I mean, you're the people I want in my life, but we've had, for some reason, we've all experienced this incredible scarcity, lack of true love and support, like we're realizing, for lifetimes, surrounded by control-based relationships, karmic like a circle, a net to keep you small and invalidated and not knowing who you are in your spiritual path and purpose, And so we're coming into this, but what if, because this is the thing that's coming forward with Jupiter beginning to get momentum in Taurus, and this Leo full moon, which is about expression. And in square to Jupiter and Taurus, Jupiter is trying to expand us into our wealth. So the wealth of our power, our light, our expression. Why don't we think we get to have it? It's ours. Everything we're fighting for is rightfully ours, And so, but just say that things do very quickly turn around. Like the matrix is it can only work when it's intact, really. And there's holes in it. We can feel it, And as that's dismantling these systems, there's literally a picture of the changing algorithms. So as those algorithms change through our whole technology systems and everything, it just isn't allowing space and room for the dark creating. There's just no energy for it. Going back to my story about the emergency vehicles and everything, right? That there was this feeling of like a drama, and then recognizing how supernova souls, we don't even know we're doing it. We're always harmonizing. And maybe since we got so disconnected, and if we bought into the story that we were responsible for the technological damage in Atlantean time, which we weren't. Yeah, we did bring the technology, but we did not do the damage. We've been carrying this, but it's put us in this weird place of feeling as the grid, and as we got cut off from the mother, in the mother energy, the self-correcting force, like through all these mechanisms, we ended up taking responsibility, like feeling like it was up to us. And we've been harmonizing and holding down the fort in ways you have no idea what you've been doing, Supernova Soul. No wonder we're so exhausted, because I saw this pattern of like, oh, okay, there's something going on, and I can work with the energy grounding cord, like harmonized and fight, you know, harmonizing of these energies and everything. And it was like, you could just clearly feel that the drama they were trying to create at this event, like it was these forces and, somebody had to be removed and all this. And it was like, it had no backing. The energy is not backing that shit anymore. And what's happening is with that grid breaking down that was supporting the darkness, the Kali Yuga, the mother is returning and activating Mother Dragon, the life force of everything, just the juice, but it's this beautiful self-correcting force, like our immune system, our vital force. And it's so beautiful because I could feel it just come in and be like, oh yeah, no, we're not going there. We're not going into the dark drama tonight. We're not going to have this, drama experience. And it was so powerful, because what a beautiful gift for Supernova Souls. First, validation of the work you've been doing, trying to work for the mother, stand up for her, harmonize, always be there to keep the peace and work on this other energetic level that, if anything, people made fun of you for, But it's like this, it was such a validation and such a beautiful thing of like, because we've been getting this message from the mother, like, put it down, put down what you're carrying. It's not yours. Let me do it. And it's like, what? What's that mean? What's that like? This burden of unknown, ununderstood responsibility as Earth stewards, having to be here and be persecuted with all this light and help and healing within us, and being immobilized and unable to offer. And yet we have been. Now, this is the thing, because when you do have that experience of coming back in the heart to the love, we've all had these Supernova Souls, like where you're like, oh my gosh, the humbleness, right? Of like the immense spiritual power and the love of the universe that's available. We've been cut off from, but we are that too. We represent that. We stand for that. We've always been in alignment with that, with her. But there is a very interesting dynamic coming up around when you come back to love and you recognize that it's there. She was there all the time. We got disconnected. There's an incredible shame. And it's real. It's visceral. And this is what we're going through right now. How can we come back to her love? When we were denying it, turning away from, and we were all manipulated and we were all persecuted. We were all controlled, but still there's that shame of feeling of like, why didn't I see this? Why didn't I embrace the love? Why didn't I recognize Jesus in that homeless person? Now, this is a very powerful energy coming up as we break all these ties with the parasitic, narcissistic, any remaining relationships. And it feels so, it's like, oh my God, that was my last friend, right? But there's this really powerful energy of like all these control-based people and family, really dark, black, ancient contracts with ancestral lineages around a claim on your energy. That stuff's coming up. It's like really intense. But it's proof we're taking back our power. We're seeing it. It's being exposed. This is a huge energy right now, exposure. And what a beautiful thought that you no longer have to worry or wonder whether the person is pretending to be good, mirroring you and your authenticity and your intuition and your love, and pretending that they're a good person just to get in like another snake to be able to take. But guess what? You're realizing that only proves your power. Why would they go through all this? To get to you. And it's giving us an opportunity to know we're absolutely invincible. We have got to get to this point. This is this Chiron Aries energy, which happens exact February, Chiron North Node in Aries, February 12th through 25th. And it's This is what's so intense right now. We're just starting to feel it as of the 24th, and probably right now, like we're moving into that energy. So yeah, bear with me because I got some Aries in my chart. Yeah, so it's just this fight and standing up, and that energy of that, the last hope for the organism to throw off the disease, and the superpower is activated. This is what we need to know before we know that there's help available. But as an advanced superpower supernova soul, you wanted to know you could do it yourself. You don't need a savior. You can protect yourself. You have to become invincible. You have to grab a hold of your power, and whatever's coming at you right now, just be like, not for sale. No more. I'm of and with the love and the mother, and you will not sway me from this place. And I will not go into your lower battles. And I will stand resolute in the power of this love. And this is what's being requested of us. Now, what if we have this spiritual revelation, these blessings, and all we have graduate into the support of higher dimensional beings more in, like where we are a disclosure on that kind of level, and these miracles and blessings of the very beneficial and helpful technologies that have been suppressed from us, and all this power of love are connecting back to source. And you know what? In that world, you are a superhero. And what is it going to be like for those that turned away from you, that made fun of you, that had this incredible opportunity to have this spiritual power, this blessing of who you are in the world, in their life, and to support your beautiful work in the world? And they turned away. And there's that, we're all on every level dealing with this shame. You cannot come back to love without releasing the shame of why you left. Oh, and our heart, this is a massive heart chakra activation, and coming back into that love. And so did you go through hell and back? Did you have absolute scarcity of love and support? More like making fun of you and being like, you're too much, right? But maybe you experienced that so that when the massive spiritual blessings begin to flood back into our world, which is right now, you don't miss it. You see it for what it is. You are awake, alive, and present for these moments and in your power, because there's no other choice for us. There's no other choice. We have to become invincible. We put on our armor of light. This is our energy field activated. Everything right now, the breach of anything you're feeling, you're dealing with, is showing you where you've got the breach in your field. Seal it up. Mine, my energy, my soul, and it's weird because the message you get when you do that is like, oh, well, you're going to be all alone. I mean, you better connect to our false God AI network, or you're going to be all alone out there. It's like, no, I choose the organic God consciousness, what's accessible to us here in this 3D, how we work with that is through the mother, our mother. What would a loving, genuine mother do? Can you use this to guide you? This has always been what's wrong about you, and it's actually what's right about you. You loved through all that abuse, and you never shut down your heart, because now you're available to not miss the blessings, to fully receive them and become that cup of God consciousness, the Holy Grail. And so it's so powerful, the times we're living in. And so we're healing this shame, coming back to the mother and receiving the blessings and owning our power. We've been so programmed to fear our power, and that's what's held most of us back from finding each other, from moving forward, is like this incredible attack that comes as you step into your power. It's just deliberate. It's gone on for lifetimes, right? And that triggers you into a very traumatic memory from a past life. And you're like, oh, Oh, right, I'm not supposed to do that. I'm not going to do that. No, just keep it simple, keep it easy. I just got to get through this. Like, it's like, oh no, you are not getting through this and you're not exiting. You have to thrive. You came here to come into your full expression. This is written again and again in the astrology charts of supernova souls. Yeah, sure, you could get all your karma and get your, like all the loyalties and all that shit and all sorted out. There's a huge plate of stuff in your birth chart because you're a supernova soul. But it also says you're not getting out of this without full expression of what's within you that they've shut down every time. And now they can't because the blessings are so powerful. And there's so many of us advanced souls and masters who thought they'd never, ever take a body, but they want to be here for this with us. And this is the energy of this Leo full moon. So this is Thursday, and the activation will be, the full moon happens about 1 o'clock in Western PM in the afternoon in Mountain Time Zone, the West US. And so we're going to do that activation very close to that time at 11 a.m. on Thursday, the 25th in Mountain Time. So I hope you'll consider joining that activation. Incredible power. If you're not too scared of your superpower, it's definitely a superpower activation because of this Sun Pluto. Now, we need our Aquarian leaders. We need our superstars. We need the visionary leaders to step forward. And on some level, that's you. And this is the fear you feel. It's like everybody negated your big spiritual purpose and told you it wasn't true. But what if it is? And now you got to be ready to step into it. You can't be scared right now. There's no time for fear. You've got to be invincible. You got to own it. You got to come into the full expression of what you came here to do. And we don't know exactly what that is because we've been completely gaslit and invalidated away from that, right? We found with a supernova story that often the greatest skills and gifts that we have from past lives that we came here to work with, go ahead and stack up all your degrees and your studies and all that stuff from this lifetime. But what we really came to work with is something we brought with us from the past that we weren't able to fully express from past lives. And they're the most hidden, right? So our greatest gifts we want to work with are the most hidden from us under the trauma stories. So we're unpacking all of it. And it's like, what if all of a sudden last week, 2 months ago, the last years, there was energy for these dark creations, right? We're going to go bring a gun in an event and create a kerfuffle and try to, have whatever drama and trauma. And it's like, no, mom says no more. And I think we want to start listening to her, because we are her. We're with her. We're Earth stewards. We were there from the beginning of the image, the vision of what the Earth wants to become. And this is what they wanted to beat out of you. And you never let it go. And now you're her warrior. You're a petal of her lotus. You have a place. Take your place. This is what this astrology is saying. So Thursday, I hope you can consider joining that activation. It's going to be really powerful because, like I said, that full moon, the sun and the moon opposite each other at a full moon in square to Jupiter and Taurus. What's keeping you from coming into your great abundance? Oh, you got all that within you, right? Come on. It's like, it's funny. It's like the control forces like flipping and going from being like, or the energies being blocking, being like, come on, bring it. Let's go. Let's see what you got, So this is very different, right? From the energy to create dark events to like, no, self-correcting force, mama's coming in to make it all harmonizing good and we get on board with that wave of energy of her juices, her balm. We've been seeing this picture of her awakening, her dragon breath, this primary water vapor coming up her from the depths of the earth, this hydration. And also we're seeing a new spectrum of light coming in, like in the sun, and the joining of this rainbow vapor of these new energies that we haven't had access to. But she says you need to do it deliberately. In order to receive them, you have to be intentional and deliberate and say yes. And so we can do it with our breath. I think that's the best tool right now for anything in any situation is just stop, slow down. This is a huge message because with this activation of Uranus energies and all the fire, we've got there's your nervous system is there's activation in the nervous system. And so there's a tendency to be like, oh my gosh, I haven't felt energy in so long and now it's here and what do I do with it? And, it's like, and so she says, slow down. Nothing's going anywhere. It's all going to happen. You can't mess it up. Just slow down. Feel into the power that's available in the moment. If we know that time is an illusion and we're just living in this time, but as we evolve into higher densities, there is no time. That means we can already reset our vibration at the time of the celebration of our win. It already happened. We already won. We're right there in the victory lap. And this is 2024 where we say, our world, our way. We're doing it this way now. Watch out, here we come. Because the gates have been broken down. And we have a little Stockholm syndrome. We got some shame around our disconnection from our mother, our great mother, our beautiful big mother. And yet we know we've been fully prepared by going through hell and having all this lack. We're not missing the blessings. We are not going to miss this moment. And I'm so glad we're here together, Supernova Souls. Thank you for finding me and going through what you've needed to go through to be here, to be present, to be in your heart, to be in the love. You are so incredibly valuable. And it appears that this will come to light. And it's almost like a feeling washed over with that realization of like, again, trying to process their pain, but feeling how painful it would feel for a soul to realize that they missed the blessing of you in their life once they see who you really are. And can we stop and slow down right now and be like, I am the blessing. I am the miracle. That's the truth. Right here, right now. And we own it. And this is the energy because we've got Saturn sextile Jupiter. Now, Saturn and Jupiter come together every 20 years. We've talked about this. And Saturn is the old guard, the old way. Jupiter's the new king. Okay. So it's like Christ consciousness and it's informing our old timeline. And it's supposed to be like an adjustment. Oh, now we're going to do it this way. Oh, okay. No. Now we're going to go back and get into alignment with our divine plan. And if you track these conjunctions every 20 years through history, you'll find that the dark forces created war and misery and catastrophe again and again in the years just after this conjunction because they wanted to block that Christ consciousness, just like everything else, right? It's like this beautiful gift of what Yeshua brought us, like this gift of Christ consciousness available as an etheric energy around the earth. And then it was just like persecution and darkness and just, an elimination, trying to eradicate. And it's like, oh yeah, we won't be snuffed out. It's impossible. Can't snuff us out. But I know you've been holding on to that one little spark. Don't forget that one little spark is a part of that multi-petaled lotus, the eternal flame. You hold an important piece. Yeah, maybe it's one little spark and you've been holding on for dear life with nobody around you that even gives a shit and actually might make fun of you for caring. But you kept carrying the light. Thank God. You are a superhero. And now we celebrate and we get on with it, because that's what it's felt like. It just felt like this, like, oh my God, is there anybody? They don't want us to interact. They want us in the grid because do you understand what happens when you come together with a tight soul group members? I don't know if we've even experienced this yet, you guys. Your tight soul group, your inner circle soul group, that you've worked through with, like this story that needs to be played out, like there's something that has not been completed. And yeah, so maybe it was the aliens pretending to be gods and creating all these religions, but there was this other story, the greatest story that's never actually been told. And it's got to be corrected. Something we're playing out here. And we've got to take our place. We got to own who we are. We got to understand who we are. And be in that place that we've been prepared perfectly for to receive these spiritual blessings. And so that's this energy, because the Jupiter conjunction that happened at the end of 2020 between Saturn and Jupiter, now we're at the mystical, magical part where the blessings come in, which is the sextile. And particularly this time, because the sextile between these planets happens in Pisces and Taurus, the end of the zodiac, the beginning of the zodiac. It's a leap from the old into the new. We're finally moving. And it's also the age of a shift into the age of Aquarius. And we've got Saturn in Pisces, which is like Saturn is the laws and rules, the old way, the old guard, but it should, but it's been absconded, taken over. Saturn, the black cube, Satan in the lower matrix control. But in Pisces, it's like mystical, magical, it's delusions, and I don't know what's going on, but it's also like the primordial creatrix, where we can rewrite the story, right? And this is a lot of what's going on. It's like following these narratives and what's going on, and I want to know the truth and all this. And it's like, oh, narrative, nothing's true. And it's like, we got to write the script. We know what's true. We never let go. And this is this energy. We're taking back the script. So that Saturn in Pisces is about rewriting the script and rewriting our reality. And Jupiter is expanding into wealth. Now they're both direct in the sextile, coming back to 7 degrees where Saturn started his retrograde. And it's so powerful that they meet at 6, 7, and 8 degrees. And 7 is the number of Christ consciousness. So it's like activating that Christ consciousness timeline. It's like, yeah, no, this story is not over, right? And it's interesting that Jupiter was in Taurus. The last time Jupiter was in Taurus was 2011, 2012. And we were in the end of the world, remember? And isn't it weird? Because it's like we had to replay that. We had to replay this whole like end of the world catastrophe, Armageddon, World War III, crash of the banking system, solar flash, polar shift. And it's like, no. We're just going to move forward now. All we need to do is start building the new. And this is why we're here, supernovas. It's a beautiful, glorious chapter for us. And, but we must take back our power and our energy. And that's this Chiron North Node conjunction. So the Saturn sextile Jupiter is, we'll be feeling that. We're already feeling it, but it's exact on the 29th, the 6th and 7th of February, the 15th of February. So the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks, really strong, but through the month of March. And then right after those exact sextiles of opening up the gates of the miracles and the blessings, like that source energy coming in that was just blocked, right? We're not trying to fight for something that's not ours or we haven't had access to before. It's ours. We're taking back what's rightfully ours, and it's going to start flooding in. That's the message. All of a sudden, miracles, changes, all of a sudden, the energy of the self-correcting force is available again. And we co-create instead of holding the responsibility. I got to harmonize, I got to fix it, I got to heal it, I got to, And it's like, no, Mother's here. We get to ride with her. We get to co-create and move in these new energies. So the Chiron North Node is like life force, great, because Chiron is our deepest wounds, and Aries, it's life force, the energy behind conception, the birth of life, the beginning of the zodiac. And so it's this fight for life, and where we've given away our life force in our life. North Node is destiny and karma, like no other way to go. And so, yes, now we stand up and we fight to save our organism. And it had to get to the near-death experience, kind of, for our country, for the world. And it's intense. And so that all plays out of our fully taking back our power. February, their Chiron North Node is February 12th through the 25th. But we start feeling it, like I said, on the 23rd, 24th right now. And then it goes through April 1st, the influence of that. So it's like, fight, fight, fight. Don't back down. Own your power. And it's also all planets direct, age of Aquarius, full throttle. Let's go. And so there's all that happening. But I want to talk something sweet. Like maybe this is what this is all about. We're talking about coming into the heart because we know the heart is an organ of oneness. And the brain, if you take it out of the body, it falls into two pieces, right? So it's designed all the way back to Atlantean time, engineered to split our brain so our right and left thinking can't work together, so we can never come back into our intuitive power. And now we rise. So the heart is what we've gotten in the message of the intuitive training is like, it appears we think that it's the higher chakras to come online, last to come online. You know, you got your pineal gland open. They've done so much to block it, right? But actually it's our heart, the power organ that brings all the chakras together. It's our heart. It's an organ of oneness. It's about the beautiful divine marriage of the masculine and the feminine within. So we've been waiting all year. Remember back it was in June, and Venus began to go into her retrograde shadow, and she came right before she turned retrograde. She came within like 4 degrees of Mars conjunction in Leo. Oh, wow. Just connecting to this Leo full moon is powerful. So starting this energy. They never connected. They came into a sextile then in November or so. Now they're coming back into their conjunction in February on the 22nd. So a month from today, this beautiful union of our divine feminine and our divine masculine coming together at 22 degrees. On the February 22nd, 222, very powerful, because it's talking about not just the union of the opposites, but the God Horus, the creation, the creatrix energy that's created from that divine union. This is the creative principle. This is everything, because we're moving into a new renaissance. When Saturn and Jupiter came together last time in 2020, they conjuncted in Capricorn and then Aquarius. And this is a 200-year cycle where they're moving from coming together in earth signs to coming together in air signs. And that says it's a new renaissance. It's a renaissance. So we create our new world. We solve all the problems. We move into the Aquarian Age by our creative expression. It's really cool because it's like, oh, it's like elevating the musicians, the artists, like back to, it's like the true wealth again, right? This is the future we're moving into. Highly valuable. The most valuable thing is creative expression. And this is really powerful because Jupiter in May, on May 25th, Jupiter will be moving into the sign of Gemini. And that's like the start of the new renaissance, you know? And it's like, so, but now Jupiter and Taurus, we've got to expand into our wealth. We got to claim back what's ours, our abundance, the spiritual love you never gave up. That's all that really matters, right? That's the wealth of this world. They've just programmed us, to think otherwise, keep us in scarcity and survival so we can't take care of each other. So we just live in this, the sensitive soul. It's just so depressing. Now all this changes. So the other thing that's very powerful, if you look at this in February, the month of Saint Valentine, and all of this, the energy of love, and on the 14th, on Valentine's Day, that's when Mars catches up to Pluto. So this is powerful. We just had the Sun and Pluto at 0 degrees, right? They were at 29, and then they were at 0 for a moment together. And Pluto is such a slow mover, right? It's going to be at 0 degrees, won't make it to 1 degree until, the 22nd of February, the same day as the Venus-Mars conjunction. But on the 14th, on Valentine's Day, that's when Mars catches up to Pluto at 0 degrees. Mercury will make that conjunction at 0 degrees on the 5th of February. Venus will make that conjunction at 0 degrees on the 17th of February. I mean, I could just talk all day about the February astrology, but I just wanted to give you a hint of what we're dealing with here, because we felt the power of Sun Pluto. Now we've got Mercury Pluto, 0 degrees Aquarius. Mars, Pluto, 0 degrees, Venus, Pluto. And so Pluto is the breaker downer, the destroyer, and it's breaking all of that divide and conquer, right? Duality consciousness. We're coming back to the love, right? This is a supernova soul. You start delving into the stuff and you're like, oh, we've all been incarnated. We needed to run the gamut. That's who we are. We've been in male bodies and female bodies. When we were a male body, we probably mistreated and disrespected women. When we were a female body, we were probably victimized. We've all played these roles. We've been on each side of the battlefield. We've been Native Americans. You know, we've been the white people. We've been the tribal leaders. We've experienced it all, and we're all one. So it's like, we don't need to play this division game anymore. Like, no, right? It was all to just distract us from the common enemy, which was like this global control force of trying to continue to enslave humanity, but it's not going to happen. We're done. We're done with this. The chains are falling away. And then we have to deal with this rapid change. This was the message I was trying to get out in the first place, that with the Saturn Jupiter sextile, it's like it's like you've had a trickle of the energy that's yours. And now those systems are falling away. And it might be a flood. It might be radical change, like positive change coming very quickly. And if already in the month of February, we're going to claim back our power, we're going to receive back the spiritual blessings, know we're the cup of God, and then heal all of our duality consciousness and come back together in love with our beautiful soul brothers and sisters. That's a big leap for the month of February, but I'm here. I mean, I don't feel that I have a choice. I'm not backing down. The time is now. And so full throttle ahead, let's go. We're here together. But no, it's a rapid adjustment. It's almost as traumatic when things are going fine in your life and all of a sudden everything goes wrong. It may be almost as traumatic when it turns around the other way, because we don't know how to act with true support. Like we're in rehab. You know? So we've only had narcissistic control energies and stuff, right? So it's a radical change. And maybe it's almost like giving you that space for the PTSD of all these years and lifetimes of being so beaten down. And it's like, you may have some tears to cry. You may have to just feel things. You might have to talk to the mother and be like, Mother, it's been so hard. I'm so sorry too that I didn't see you or hear the whole time, even though I knew you were here in my heart. But we're not going to turn away from the love anymore. We're not going to let them tell us that's what this is about. No, no. We're done. So this combination of love and just spiritual blessings, like what if, right? Healing, miracle healings. And that's the thing. If we have to reclaim our miracles, the message has come through that we have to have a reason for miracles, right? If you don't have a reason for a miracle, then you're not going to notice the miracle. So thank yourself and your soul for your strength to make it through this. And maybe there is a blessing in the incredible lack and scarcity. I'm so sorry that nobody's been able to be there for you. You deserve support and love. And yet it's put you in a place to be fully prepared. No time to be scared. And you're not going to miss these blessings. You're not going to miss it. There's no way you can miss what's here for you. So just relax, slow down, breathe. Know that it's like a super, just intense reorientation, a complete annihilation of who you thought you were, preparing to make room for these blessings to come in, which is who you really are. What a glorious celebration we have coming. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for being a part of the Soul Tribe. It's so wonderful to have a place to connect and feel safe and talk about things, express ourselves, find support with each other. That's available in the Soul Tribe. $10 a month membership gets you a weekly video update and access to the Telegram channel and live chats. And $20 a month also then gets you activations, or access to the activations, new and full moon activations, and live sharing circles after. So thank you so much for your support. There's also a donation link if you want to bring an offering and energy that way. I super appreciate it. But your best offering is you, being present with me and these energies, these teachings. Know that I can't tell you anything you don't already know. But I hope that it triggers and supports you into loving yourself more and taking hold of yourself and your power and preparing for the radical shift and changes into the new and better way as we ride Mother Dragon home. As her self-corrective force comes in and we go, we made it through the Kali Yuga. We're going to ride her. We're going to celebrate. And we're just not going to back down from the love that we are and the force of that in the world. It's like I just see this dragon, this light, energy moving across the earth, picking up energy as it goes, demonstrating what's really possible, a different way to live and be. And that's why you survived. All you made it through. So thank you. Love you so much, Supernova souls. And let's stay connected through this very powerful time because we've got this, we've mentioned February. I didn't even talk about January. I better do that real quick. Here at the end of January is really the most intense energy we have to prepare for, into that next chapter. And it's intense because we've been feeling the sun square the nodes. We felt that, how intense that was. And now we're going to have Mercury and Mars square the nodes. But right now they've been taking turns trining up with Black Moon Lilith, supporting the feminine, getting on board with the mother's dream, saying, hey, we got to clean this up. We can clean this up. We're here. The masculine's on board with her dream. The masculine can overcome the shame of falling away and turning away from her love, coming back into the worship of the love that we all came from, made from, and the only thing that matters. This is a massive divine masculine activation because Mercury and Mars are getting closer and closer. They come together on the 27th and the 28th. Next weekend, but trine Black Moon Lilith and Virgo. Then now they're coming into a square with Chiron, and they conjunct exactly right after their square with Chiron, and then they come into square with the nodes of the moon. And so it's really, really intense because it's these cardinal squares. T squares with the nodes, T square with the node of the moon. And then, that's coming off this fixed T square for the Leo full moon. It's kind of like Leo full moon. It's like, come into your superpower, shine yourself, show yourself, come forward. Like, we're here to express our full potential and come into our true wealth. And then right after that, Mercury and Mars, which is such an activation. This is their third and final conjunction from the retrograde season. So this is the completion of the Mercury retrograde. And so, but it's really, really frustrating transits. It's empowering and frustrating, right? It's like in Capricorn, at the very middle of Capricorn, where they come together, 16, 17 degrees, which is exactly square with Chiron. Now Chiron is will be at 16 degrees, is at 15, moving to 16. So they're in this exact gridlock with Chiron, that wounds of giving away our life force. So the empowerment of the divine masculine is like this fight for life, taking back your power, taking back your energy, and then square the nodes, those Aries north node, Libra south node. And the nodes have this destiny, this unavoidable destiny, So Mercury and Mars together and square to the nodes is so intense. And it's like, we've got to have the masculine on board, right? Like, and to come back to the love of the mother, to fight again, to be a warrior for her, for the dream. It's the masculine getting on board with the dream. It's Mercury is our conceptual reality and Mars is our warrior will, movement, action. So it's like we're lining up now, right? We're not going to play the narratives and who's lying and who's telling the truth, because nobody's telling the truth. Because it's all designed to take us to the one truth that lives within you as a living, breathing, powerful energy. And the mother the connection with the mother is this electromagnetic field. When we connect with her electromagnetic field, we can protect ourselves in our electromagnetic field. We can breathe in those dragon vapors. We can hydrate ourselves. We can have the power of this breath of life, this balm that's available to us right now. So that breathing with her and feeling that protection of the sheath and seeing that around the whole earth, right? Whatever you guys want to put us through with this radiation and some stories about this and that, it's like the mother's got this handled, especially with our love and support. And we take back our world now. And the masculine has been reignited with his love for her. And it's a different world now. We move forward in a completely new way. So know that this is where we're at. It's like full throttle, but it's like, but there's no path. And then behind me, the bridge just got burned. And so I'm just hanging out, right? Listening to the mother saying, slow down, slow down. You've already made it. Slow down. Listen for the signs. You can't miss what's coming for you. Just get into alignment, be in the love that you are. All will unfold, but there is a feeling of making a leap into the unknown and that faith and that trust. And what are you trusting in? You and your power, your invincibility. It's so intense. So supernovas, wow. Thank you for being here, and so much to talk through. So we kind of went on forever, but just know that end, so the intensity of these squares that we're moving into right now go all the way right up to the first couple of days of February. And so it's just like, bam, 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 you are going nowhere in the direction you thought you were going. You are going nowhere if you're not alignment with her and the love of the truth that you are. You are going nowhere if you're allowing outside forces to dictate your truth and your reality. Oh, it's so powerful and so intense. And it's where we go, holy crap. And then, wow, I can't believe I get to live and exist during this time. And it'll be so much more beautiful as we can come together. And we're already together. Feel that, know that. Nothing can separate us, but they have tried so hard. And I know you felt so alone, but there's a whole group of us just like you, warriors, part of this dream, part of playing out what needs to be played out, taking our place, not backing down. And so just try to feel the power of that, fake it till you make it, because we're so disconnected into this local area network through technological control, but that's falling away, and if you're working as a team and they've got your back and it's true support, which you don't know what that looks like, but we're going to get used to it, and just feel the power of that and just see yourself as that ball of light, of that energy, that invincible. And just keep moving, but slow down. Rest, heal, breathe with her. That's the solution to all right now. So I love you so much, Supernova Souls. Thanks for being a warrior for her, and beautiful things, chapters, new ages and golden ages lie ahead, and we're a crucial part of that. So thank you for going through this initiation and preparation to be a receiver of these blessings and miracles and hold them and demonstrate them for the world. You're beautiful. You're powerful. So thank you so much. I hope to connect with you soon on that activation. I'll see you on the next update. Until then, I'm Adrienne Elise. Namaste.